Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name's Noel and I review and unbox subscription boxes here on my channel, and today I have another book subscription to share with you that has been sent to me for review. It is from Authentic Books, which is actually the two-time winner of Best Book Subscription Box here on the channel in our Nobody Awards, which are now an annual event. So if you want to be more a part of our community, be on the lookout for that towards the end of this year when we'll be doing our voting once again. But because they are that two-time winner, this is what we base our quarterly book club off of, which is called the Book Nook. We run it out of our private Facebook group, which is called the Nobot Nook, which is just for anyone who is a viewer, a subscriber of this channel. If you're interested in joining the Nobot Nook or specifically the Book Nook, just make sure that you sign up. I will leave a link for that Facebook group in the description box below. Do be sure to answer the membership questions because otherwise I can't let you in. But there is still time. So we actually just finished up our final book reading of 2023 because there have been some major delays with Authentic Books. It's just because of growing pains, sometimes because she has all new releases for us to choose from. There are delays on the publisher end as well. So thank you to everyone for being patient. We have our fingers, toes, and eyes crossed that she is going to get back on track. There might be some small changes just so that she can get back on track, but right now we are slated to be reading the Thriller, which was one of the selections for February. Usually the box is shipped towards the end of the month, so most likely our reading schedule will be in the month of March, and then hopefully we will still get caught up and still be able to get 4 reads in with our book club within this year. But I do think it's worth being patient with Authentic Books because really it's like a book subscription where you're getting these new releases, you get a choice every month. I think that's amazing, and you're getting a curated lifestyle box. So if you're someone who's kind of trying to choose between a book subscription or a lifestyle box, this is really the best of both worlds in my opinion. If I didn't tell you already, you can get 10% off your own subscription using the code Noel10. I probably told you already, but just in case I forgot, I will leave that information for you in the description box below. If you decide to join via our book club though, there is a different code with some different perks, so you might want to consider that as well. Now, there are just 2 different box sizes now. All of the boxes are kind of curated on the idea of appealing to all 5 of the senses. Obviously, the book itself is for the sense of sight. So the first, or the full experience, the first tier is $56.99 plus $5 in shipping. You get, of course, your book for the sense of sight. You get a 4-ounce candle that are made in-house by Authentic Books. That is for the sense of smell. For the sense of taste, you get a coffee, tea, or a cocktail mixer. And then to go along with that, there's always a cocktail recipe as well as a food recipe. We don't usually get any of the ingredients for the food recipe, but always inspired by the book itself. So that's for the sense of taste. For hearing, there's usually a Spotify playlist. I did not actually find my Spotify playlist QR code in this box. It might be hidden somewhere in the nice accompanying guide that always comes with it, but I didn't actually see it. Sometimes it's on a separate card. Sometimes it's inside of this little booklet, but I didn't find it this time around. But that's usually what we get for the sense of hearing. And then there are touch items. So you get 2 touch items in the full experience. Touch items are like kind of a broad category. So it could be bath and body, it could be accessories, it could be home decor items, all kinds of different things for that. And then in addition to that, you get all kinds of fun enhancers. Like sometimes there's an author's note. We always get a lovely tasseled bookmark with a quote, which I always think looks nice. I have all my Authentic Books hardcover books all lined up, mostly hardcover. Occasionally we get a paperback, all lined up along my bookshelf, and they look so nice with their pretty silky tassels hanging out. So you can get that box, which is the full experience, so all the senses are included, or for $10 more, you can get the premium experience. The additions in that premium experience are an extra touch item as well as a premium chocolate. So if you're a chocolate lover like I am, I think that's absolutely worth that $10 upgrade, as well as the fact that you get an extra touch item. And of course, just a reminder, they do have a give back element with this box. 5% of the proceeds of your membership go to the Adopt a Classroom Foundation. There's always that reminder on the back of the booklet. So this is what the booklet looks like. It actually tells you all about the items, like which items go with which senses. So we have sight, smell, taste 1, taste 2, And then in here, it still is talking about the mini box, which I don't think is available anymore, but this box that I'm showing you today is actually the November box. So this might have been created before those changes were made available, because you kind of go through this nice customization process when you're first signing up for what you want. So here is an example of our drink recipe and our food recipe, which for this one was a hummingbird sheet cake. I don't remember a hummingbird sheet cake being in there. There's a lot of like tea service, so I'm surprised that we didn't get like a tea service thing in there. She did have like a favorite like biscuit or something that someone brought by towards the end that she added to the tea service, but I don't think it was a hummingbird sheet cake. And then a classic gin and tonic. I don't remember a classic gin and tonic in here. Like I said, there was a lot of tea, but she definitely added something to the little tea service that she was having in her own home, but now I don't remember. Let's see. There's not actual page numbers the way they are with some other book subscriptions. I'm hoping that that's a feature that comes back so that we understand the inspiration for all of the items. Sometimes it's kind of fun to try to figure out the passages that did inspire the items that are inside. And then she also includes all kinds of coupon codes, referral codes for the different companies that are featured, the different makers, and she usually highlights one of the makers in here. This time around it's Portland Syrups, which does a lot of the cocktail ingredients that we get sent in these boxes, because I always choose the cocktail mixer for my taste, but let's see if we can get into this. So the book that I selected for November was The Mystery Guest, a maid novel by Nita Prose, which is the author of The Maid. So I'm guessing this is a series. So for some people, maybe some of the characters were familiar, or maybe it's just a series where it's going to feature different maids, because I feel like a lot of this was us learning about the main character and sort of her background and origin story. So I can't imagine that that wouldn't have been in the first book. So maybe they're just always about different maids in different situations. I'm not sure. I'm honestly not sure. But let me go ahead and read the little book jacket to give you the sort of teaser for it. And again, we're getting these nice new releases, hardcovers, often with an author's note. Not this time around, but so what's our quote actually on our bookmark? It says, "It doesn't matter if you understand another person's pain because their injury is real nonetheless." So true. All right, so a new mess, a new mystery. It's up to Molly the maid to uncover the truth, no matter how dirty. Molly Gray is not like anyone else. With her flair for cleaning and proper etiquette, she has risen through the ranks of the glorious 5-star Regency Grand Hotel to become the esteemed head maid. But just as her life reaches a pinnacle state of perfection, her world is turned upside down when J.D. Grimthorpe, the world-renowned mystery author, drops dead. Very dead. As if you can be like, well, I guess you can be half dead, on the hotel's tea room floor. As Molly's old foe, Detective Stark, okay, so it must have been the same characters. As Molly's old foe, Detective Stark, investigates the author's unexpected demise, it becomes clear that this death was murder most foul. Suspects abound, and everyone wants to know, who killed J.D. Grimthorpe? Was it Lily, the new maid in training, or was it Serena, the author's secretary? Could Mr. Preston, the hotel's beloved doorman, be hiding something? And is Molly really as innocent as she seems? As the high-profile death threatens the hotel's pristine reputation, Molly knows that she alone holds the key to unlocking the killer's identity. But that key is buried deep in her past. Long ago, she knew J.D. Grimthorpe. Molly begins to comb her memory for clues, revisiting her childhood in the mysterious Grimthorpe mansion where she and her dearly departed Gran once worked side by side. With the entire hotel under investigation, Molly must solve the mystery post-haste. But because if there's one thing she knows for sure, it's that secrets don't stay buried forever. So it was a very sweet mystery. Molly is a very likable character, and like I said, you do sort of learn about her history as you go through it, why she is unlike anyone else. We learn all about her gran and all of the sort of like maxims and cute rhymes that she's come up for, like living this very clean, pristine life. It's like a game of Clue. There's so many like possible suspects, and you're trying to piece together who it is, and you know, is it just a classic case of revenge, or is someone trying to, I mean, there's a lot of revenge theories in here, honestly, but I did kind of have it figured out towards the end because some of the characters were almost comical, like characters, like caricatures, very like extreme, but that was kind of what made it delightful. And Molly is like, just her POV is very delightful and sweet. So let's just go over some of the items that we got in this box. I know I spent a lot of time trying to explain other things to you, but hopefully in the future I will be able to have more time to read more passages for you. Honestly, if I had known that this was part of a series, it was probably in the book description when we chose our book, I might not have chosen it, but I'm glad that I did, because she did a good job of creating a book where I didn't necessarily need to know all of the stuff from the first book. So that's our Authentic Books little like wax seal on there. So let's see. Of course, everyone got the book, and here is our It's About to Get Literary Authentic Books candle. I think a lot of my candles in the last like 3 boxes that I've gotten between monthly and limited edition, they've had a little bit of sweating, which is very strange because that's never like been a problem before. So and it's weird to me that it actually seeps out of the sealed jar into the cardboard. And so I'm wondering, I mean, one of them I know like the candle had kind of melted, you could see it, but I'm wondering if maybe just the boxes were sitting somewhere where they got melted on, or if, I'm not really sure. This is the Regency Grand, which is made of black honey and white tea. Black and white, I like that. Black honey, I don't know. Sometimes the author will collaborate on the scent for this, not in this case though. Regency Grand was inspired by the sophisticated smells of a luxury afternoon tea. So yeah, I can see that there is a little bit of moisture up around the rim, so it does look like it did have some sweating, just like because it is a soy wax candle, so that can definitely happen. So it's not like you're not going to be able to see it in this lighting, but the top isn't quite as smooth. Ooh, this smells really good though. Inspired by the sophisticated smells of a luxury afternoon tea. I definitely am getting the honey and the tea. I will say that. And I love like white tea scents. I really do. So, all right. I feel like I'm really, really bright right now because it is really, really dark outside. So the like contrast really gets upped a little bit when I'm filming and it's later in the day. Let me see if I can like fix that a little bit. That was a little bit better, right guys? Okay, let's move on to taste number 1. So you could have gotten a Sunday morning's coffee. You could have gotten a Saria sparkling ginger white tea. That would have been delicious. And tea plays a very important part in this book because they have a beautiful tea room where the event is happening. And of course, you know, Molly is a maid and she's very proper and she kind of likes that old world etiquette and having tea. Her gran used to bring her tea when she was like working at the mansion with her, at that author's mansion, and she very innocently became privy to a lot of things that help unravel the mystery later on. And she's also just very detail oriented, right? So she might not have like the same book smarts as other people, even though she's an avid reader and is very good at spelling very complex words, but she does have that attention to detail, which is actually what leads to her almost getting a job offer as a detective towards the end of the novel. That's not a spoiler. So this is interesting. We got a Rose City, it's just tonic. It's not like a flavored syrup from Portland Syrups, which I thought was weird. On here it says it's the Rose City Quinine tonic, which I guess quinine is all in all tonic, but you know, usually I think of the big like quart or liter bottles of tonic. So interesting that this is in it. It says your tonic gives the vodka tonic a reason to exist. So they have the recipe for a gin and tonic on here, and then they also have the ingredients for a gin and tonic in here as well, although they're showing it with like a rose colored item. So I wonder if the tonic has a color to it, which would be weird, but sounds good. I'm not a gin girl, so I would make a vodka tonic. And again, I don't really remember like a cocktail. I mean, there is the Social, which is the bar in the hotel, which her friend works at, but I don't remember that particular cocktail. All right, taste number 2 that would only be in the premium boxes. Remember, they're $10 more than the other. I just feel so like washed out. I'm sorry, you guys. I need to get out and get a tan. So for taste number 2, which of course is our premium chocolate, we got something from Moonstruck, which is fantastic chocolate. I absolutely love their chocolate. This is a salty dark sea salt almond bar. That sounds really good. I am on a juice cleanse right now, so I can't have this, but I'm going to hide it from my husband because otherwise he will steal it and eat it. The moon rules the tides in our seas, and salts from those same seas add a delightful contrast to the roasted almond and vanilla sweetness inside this dark chocolate. I do not know what the inspiration for this in the book was, and I feel like I just finished the book, but I wasn't on the lookout for it. Sometimes I'm a little bit better about looking through the pamphlet first and then kind of like keeping my eyes and ears open for what the inspiration was. So that's why I'm kind of hoping she brings back the page numbers one of these days to make that a little bit easier on me so that I can actually read the passages to you the way I do with some other book subscriptions, but not this time. All right, now we have our 3 touch items. So touch 1 and 2 would be in the full boxes, and then touch 1, 2, and 3 would be in the premium boxes. So touch number 1, this one makes sense because honey plays an important part. The author who dies, he really likes to have honey in his tea instead of sugar. So as they're preparing the tea cart, they have to make sure that they have honey for him. So this makes sense. Honey is a multitasking miracle worker for your complexion, providing skin-loving moisture and nourishment. This nurturing mask helps to restore elasticity and impart a lovely afterglow thanks to hyaluronic acid's refreshing dose of hydration. Honestly, yeah, the page numbers would be nice, or even just a quote from the book. Although sometimes the inspiration, like this could be inspired from like multiple pages in the book. So I feel like maybe just 1 or 2 of them would be good. I don't know. Sometimes they don't need it because it's really obvious. And then sometimes like the salty dark sea salt almond bar, I'm like, I don't remember that. There was no like ocean situation in this book. Touch number 2 is kind of fun. Very unexpected. Not something I would use, but it's these fancy pom-pom socks with these like aubergine feathers, which I don't know if that's supposed to be like a maid's feather duster. I don't know. This is very trendy right now. These sort of delicate, sheer, almost nylon-like decorative socks that people actually wear in the spring and summer with a nice little strappy sandal and like a midi dress. I can't pull it off, but it looks really cute. And I actually think this is one of the cutest variations that I've seen with this like marabou stuff going on, instead of just like white embroidery or frilly, like very little girly. This feels weirdly a little bit more adult than the little frilly cuffs that I've seen on some socks like this. So this is from Collections by Fame Accessories. Fame was born out of the desire to clothe and accessorize the world with the trendiest fashion accessories at an affordable price. We feel that everyone should be able to express their style regardless of their budget. So instead of like the business descriptions, which is what we got there, I would prefer an item description like we got with the honey mask, or like I said, where was this from? Like, even if it's not like a page number or an actual quote from the book, if it was just like, maids were known for their feather dusters, or I don't know. I don't know where this comes from, or why this frilly sock makes sense, because this is definitely not uniform. She would definitely not wear this, and I can't imagine the detective or any of her friends, Molly's friends, wearing these socks, or any of the characters. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where it came from. They're pretty though. All right, and finally, touch number 3. Now, this is something that I was saying about another box where I kind of feel like the extra items in like the highest tier box from a subscription, like, it shouldn't be about quantity, right? It should be more about quality. Like, so I feel like the higher value items should be those extra items that you wouldn't get in the basic or base box. So for this being the touch number 3, like, it would have made more sense, even though I'll probably use these more than I'll use the fashion socks. This would have made more sense as a touch number 2 than a touch number 3. It's the EO deodorant wipes. Very functional. It says, stay feeling fresh on the go with effective, natural, individually wrapped wipes. The soothing scent of floral lavender calms your senses. I like to be able to take like a little, you know, French bath on the go. I am into it. I think these are very useful to have in your purse for when you have just had a long day and you don't have a time for a shower. Draws you into the present moment with the French lavender scent. The now an inspired daily dose of serenity. Your underarms deserve to feel fresh. Organic sugarcane derived ethanol helps reduce body odor without clogging pores. It is free of aluminum salt. So cleanliness obviously is a huge theme in the book. So this makes sense. Personal hygiene is a thing, as well as her just being really good about cleaning rooms and the hotel in general. But for me, I feel like this would have been, it's not like, wow, I'm so glad that I got the premium box instead of the full box. Does that make sense? Am I being like picky? I don't know. These are actually a great thing to use. Like, if I had gotten these two as my 2 items, I would have been super happy. And then I just feel like the socks are like an extra fluffy thing, and then I don't know. Maybe I would be more upset if that was the extra thing, and I'd be like, oh, I'm not happy that I spent an extra $10 to get fluffy socks that I won't use. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think that when there are extra items in a higher tiered box that those should be like the hero items? Should they have a higher value, or should they just be the same as the other touch items in the box? I don't know. I was recently talking to Natisha about it, and I was like, you know, I think now that there's only 2 box sizes, it would be okay to just have 1 touch item in the full and 2 in the premium if they were higher value items. Like, I would rather have 2 higher value items than 3 medium value items. I don't know. Let me know your preferences in the comments below, because I can definitely pass on your thoughts to her, because she is slowly growing and building this, and she has to make it viable. And you know, I love having the choice of multiple books, but those are the enhancements I would like to see. I'd like to see the inspiration page numbers, and I'm okay with less if it's more, if that makes sense. I'm okay with quality over quantity. You guys let me know in the comments below what you think, and I'll see you in my next unboxing. Happy reading.